Pikmin 4's latest trailer shows that the game contains the option to customize your own character. I think this marks a really interesting departure for the series. Previously, Pikmin was driven by these iconic characters, Olimar, Louie, Alf, Brittany, Charlie. However, it really makes sense to me that you can't keep endlessly adding new characters each game, and perhaps the lack of diversity in that roster was starting to look out of touch. Instead, and especially alongside the apparent multiplayer options, there's room for people to express their own character as an avatar in the game. Now, there are some things about this that I find intriguing. First of all, this moves the title from something like Zelda or Metroid, where you inhabit the role of a specific icon, a specific iconic character, into something more like Splatoon or Animal Crossing, where you create an avatar of your own to enter the world. It's a subtle shift and not one that Pikmin can ever really return from, and is, on some level, a recognition that the game is never going to have quite the same impervious, indelible integrity as those games. Zelda or Metroid with a character creator would just seem wrong. It was wrong in Sonic Forces. Now, the irony here is that Link was originally literally a Link character who the player could name, but that character really outgrew those humble origins and built their own lore to the point where now Link is just such a massive icon in his own right, and frankly, renaming him in the older games just feels wrong, like a badger and a tutu, which I googled to find an image to go with this video, and now I wish I hadn't. But Pikmin is spiritually closer to Animal Crossing and Splatoon, I think, because it's less about creating a character dynamic and more about establishing a world and an ambience you could want to step into. Splatoon has a really rich and complex lore, but it's not about a singular character, and Pikmin has kind of gone the same way with the expansion out from Olimar. The game's plot and history still exists, but now you get to be a tiny part of it. Ultimately, the big characters people love are the Pikmin themselves, and then the charismatic monsters, and then the cast of humanoid characters. But unless you repeat the same characters or just keep adding new ones, you risk a law of diminishing returns. I think this is where Oatchi comes in. Instead of having 4 new characters, they've gone with one major new character who is so strikingly different that he just has to stick in the mind. And in some ways, Oatchi is more of a mascot character than anything else in Pikmin. Olimar is fun, but he's not exactly cute and cuddly, and he doesn't have the same broad appeal of Mario. Similarly, as much as I love Alf and Brittany and Charlie, they're never going to be the same as Zelda and Link. But Oatchi has that warm, cuddly, approachable feel of Yoshi and Kirby, and I could see this being a big draw for lots of new players who might be on the fence about starting a Pikmin game. Now, the character customization options also put into context for me the change in camera perspective. More than anything, the theme of this game seems to be to draw you into the world of Pikmin, eye level and with your own custom avatar. I do wonder if this was based on any kind of research into what people wanted. Vantage Emblem's video on this topic makes the really interesting point that this is something that fans have requested, and it suggests that they've taken on board fan interest. And Tears of the Kingdom director Hidemaru Fujibayashi recently mentioned how they enjoyed seeing what the fans did with their mechanics and enjoyed watching to see how their mechanics would be used in interesting ways. We think of Nintendo as quite a walled-off company doing its own mad schemes that nobody would ever guess, but I wonder how deep their audience research goes. They obviously do like to see what people do, and we do know they do surveys to prepare to market the games, but I remember Ubisoft did a survey several years ago to canvass potential opinions on a Mario plus Rabbids 2. Does Nintendo manage to do this in Japan? Because Pikmin feels like a more modern game than, say, Kirby, Mario and Zelda. I mean, it is more modern if, a franchise that's 2 decades old can ever be considered modern. It feels more of a generation to me with Animal Crossing, Wii Sports, and even Splatoon. I do wonder if Nintendo saw the success of these character creation mechanics with the Mii's, Animal Crossing and Splatoon and thought, well, let's bring it over. I dare say these kinds of things are fun for social media, and this may give the Pikmin franchise a bit of an extra boost online if people start sharing their own character creations. Or indeed, is there a different reason? Splatoon and Animal Crossing both need the character creator because they have such strong multiplayer components. If Nintendo could find a way to build a strong online multiplayer experience around Pikmin, whether now or in a future iteration, that might go some considerable way to broadening the horizons of the franchise. I'm not quite sure how it would work as it stands. Perhaps night mode is some kind of horde mode, Salmon Run for Pikmin, where you need to team up to play. This makes sense of why individual characters wouldn't go out at night, but the rescue corps can, because there's enough of them to deal with even the deadliest rampaging Bulborbs. Anyway, this is just a short and quick one to give you my thoughts. I was on the fence about making a video, so a big shout out to Enderskeleton in the comments on my Vampel video for requesting this. See, your comments are read and valued, so please let me know what you think. Take care, and see you soon.